to back, to back, to back. That's 4, baby. 4 straight Webley sweeps. Portland, blowout Webley sweep. We are an absolute fire. 4 straight Webley sweeps. Paulie's cash get a night. He shook ahead. Let's run it.
If you believe that a guy with a baseball cap and sunglasses indoors can bet $300,000, then I've got a bridge to sell you. Because you're rarely going to be able to do this unless the bookies know you're a complete degen that's going to lose money. Not to mention the fact that a $300,000 bet means he's got a $30 million bankroll, which I highly doubt. So yeah, you're going to lose money this way, but I've lost rent money on a dumb parlay too. I've blamed refs, I've chased losses, and yes, I've fallen for the parlay travs of the world and even bought a pick package that was about as reliable as a gas station hot dog. But once I stopped gambling like a clown and started betting with math, the game flipped for me. Suddenly the books weren't bleeding me dry, I was bleeding them. And if you're here, I already know 2 things. 1, you're not looking for another scammy lock of the day. And 2, you're sick of watching sportsbooks build new vacation homes with your deposits. So, just keep watching, because today I'll show you how to find bets that are way too good to be true. They almost feel illegal. And I know what you're thinking. Is this really possible? Well, let me show you what it'll look like down the line. Essentially, what you're doing here is stacking 3 to 5% edges, bet after bet, month after month. So if you're starting with a $5,000 bankroll, sticking to 1% bet size, taking 5 bets per day, and only placing bets with at least 3% edge, here's how the math plays out year by year. After a year, you've made $3,000. Then, in 6 years, you're finally able to hit the $10,000 per month milestone. And after 10 years, you're sitting at over $1 million. Of course, real life gets in the way. So you might pull money out, add more in, or hit betting limits. But those small edges, stacked daily, add up fast. This is the same way sharp bettors grow real bankrolls over time. And if you want to kickstart your way to $1 million, here's a step-by-step blueprint of how I made my first $1,000. It'll show you how to find sharp bets on your own, so you're not relying on luck or some fake guru's lock of the day. So check out the link in the description if you want to grab it. So now you know that finding your edge is the goal. How the hell do you find them? That's where step 2 comes in, and this is how I like to look at it. Imagine you're buying a new TV. You check a few stores. Best Buy has it for $900. Amazon has it for $880, and suddenly Walmart lists it for $600. Hold up. What? Either Walmart's running a crazy sale or they messed up big time. Either way, that's not your problem. All you need to know is that you're jumping on that deal. And that's exactly how it works in sports betting. Each sportsbook uses its own algorithm, data sources, and let's be real, sometimes they just get it wrong. So when 9 out of 10 books have a line at minus 140, but one rogue book is hanging minus 120, that's your Walmart TV moment. That's a pricing error. And if you catch it before it moves, you've got a positive expected value bet. For example, I spotted Enrique Hernandez over 0.5 runs at plus 200, when most books had it juiced way lower. I threw $110 on it, and when it cashed, it paid me $330. And just like that, I tripled my money. So, if you want to find profitable bets like that, you gotta scroll through the sports books. But let's be real, who wants to manually scan 12 different sports books like a nerd, squinting at lines like they're decoding the Matrix? I know I don't, which is where step 3 comes in. Cause now, there are tools that automate the whole thing, which is awesome. These tools can scan all the books for you, compare the odds side by side, and flag when one sports book slips up and offers a good price. And yeah, there are a bunch of options out there, and they basically do the same thing. So pick whatever works for you. Personally, I use OddsJam, and it's like having a price shopping bot on steroids. But here's what I learned. You can't just fire up OddsJam, blindly copy every positive EV play, and expect to print money. Because even though the tool shows you potential value, you still need to use some common sense. Like for starters, make sure at least 5 major books are offering lines on the game. If only 2 or 3 books are posting odds, there's a high chance the market isn't sharp yet, and that edge might be wishful thinking. The same goes for super niche leagues and weird markets. I'm talking alternate spreads, obscure player props, or exact score bets. Sure, they can look like positive EV, but not many people are betting on it. So it doesn't take much money to move the lines. All it takes is for one sharp to dump a large amount of money on the game, and now you're no longer positive EV. But moving on to step 4, If you don't get this one, every hot streak you ever have will eventually end in disaster. Because let's be honest, you will tilt, you'll hit a cold streak, you'll watch a game flip on a last-second turnover, and you'll question your system. But that's where 99% of bettors will start tweaking like a degenerate. So, let me let you in on a secret. I've known bettors who've been on a 20-bet losing streak. And if this happened to anyone else, they would have rage bet the next game or gone full conservative mode. But the guy I knew, he didn't even flinch. He knew that his edge was proven. He'd tracked them, knew his ROI, and trusted the long game. 30 bets later, he was up over 17 units. So if you want to be in the game long enough to see your profit compound, here are 3 ways to handle variance. First up, avoid tilt at all costs. Go touch some grass when you feel yourself getting emotional. Then, track every single bet. A simple Google Sheet will do. But if you don't want to start from scratch, I linked my bet tracker template in the description below. After that, run a feedback loop. Ask yourself, what worked? What didn't? What did your model miss? And iterate fast. Remember, system matters more than outcome. So, if your edge is real, short-term losses shouldn't matter. Just stick to the plan. Don't be like other bettors who can't stick to that system. They get bored and chase parlays, which is exactly why they lose a lot. And that's why I built a private group. I want us all locked in, disciplined, and stacking sharp bets together. Here's a little sneak peek of what you can expect inside. We'll break down systems and keep each other accountable. That way, we can spot positive EV bets like this every day. So if you want to stop betting in isolation and start learning with people who actually care about winning, the link to the Betting Lab is in the description below. Okay, at this point you have your foundations laid out. You know what to look for and how to look for them. But moving on to step 5, and it's all about avoiding the one mistake that can destroy your entire bankroll. So a guy I know was following a system that he thought would turn him into a gazillionaire. It worked for him for a while, and in just 3 days he turned $200 into $700. He felt like he was on cloud 9, so he decided to go all in on a UFC fight. The problem is, his guy tapped in the second round, and my guy lost his entire bankroll in one night. It didn't matter that he had been winning, the streak ended as fast as it started. And that's why pros use units. They risk only 1 to 2% of their bankroll per bet, because the goal isn't to hit a big win in one go. It's to stay in the game long enough for your bankroll to grow. But alright, let's say your bankroll does grow, and you're seeing bet slips like this more and more each day. So now what? Well, let me tell you. A few months ago, someone in our group got limited. Just 5 days after signing up with a new sportsbook. He was beating closing lines again and again, and sportsbooks hate that. These nerds in suits are sitting behind supercomputers running simulations, and when they realize you're taking their money, they don't send congratulations. They send the limit letter and limit your accounts. That's their way of saying thank you. Meanwhile, LockDaddy69 can go 2-14 for 3 straight months, and they'll let him keep firing max unit nukes like it's nothing. Because losing is good for business, and every 6-leg parlay Lock Daddy places helps fund the bookie's kids' private school tuition. So yeah, getting limited sucks, but it also means the system sees you as a threat. And that limit letter, that's your diploma. Don't take it personally. Instead, play smarter. Diversify across multiple books, use second accounts with family names, throw in the occasional parlay here and there, and bet a favorite now and then. That way, your profile's gonna look messy, and you can stay under the radar long enough to keep extracting money from the syndicate. Now, if you want to see if this system works in real life, you're in luck, because I put it all to the test. I ran a 7-day odds jam challenge to see what the results would be if I let the tool guide my bets. And I documented the entire process from start to finish. So, I'll put the link to that video right here if you want to see how that turned out.